They were standing in my lot with toolboxes. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Before we jump into the story, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Leave a comment with the city you live in. Now, let's dive into today's story. I'm Emily, and for the last 4 years, I've poured every ounce of myself into a dream most people would call insane. I'm a mechanic, grease under my nails, late nights in the garage, the whole deal. I've worked double shifts, skipped weekends, and lived in a shoebox apartment to save every dime. My co-workers at the auto shop think I'm chasing a midlife crisis at 32 or hoarding cash for a hot rod to roar down the highway. They're wrong. I've been saving to buy a small auto repair shop. Not for me, but for my older brother, James, and his wife, Sarah. They've been stuck in a dead-end town, running a failing tire shop out of a crumbling shed for years. James is always griping about how the roof leaks when it rains, how the customers are drying up, or how the nearest parts supplier is an hour's drive away. Every time I visit, I see the strain in his eyes, the way Sarah forces a smile over her coffee. I've pictured it 100 times, handing them the keys to a shiny new shop in a bustling area, modern lifts, a clean waiting room, a steady stream of cars rolling in. It's my way of giving them a fresh start. A thank you for raising me after Mom died when I was 12. James is 15 years older, and he gave up everything college. Someone who can lift the weight off his shoulders. The thought keeps me going through the long nights, the sore hands, the ramen dinners. I'm so close I can smell the fresh paint and hear the hum of a new lift. This is for them, for us. Every Sunday, I steer my beat-up pickup down the cracked back roads to James and Sarah's place. A ritual as steady as the ticking of my old wind-up clock. Their tire shop looms behind the house, a sagging shed with a tin roof that groans in the wind, its walls stained with years of grit and giving up. Inside, the air hangs heavy with rubber and a quiet kind of sorrow that seeps into me the moment I cross the threshold. Sarah's in the kitchen, her apron dusted with flour, stirring a pot roast that's been simmering since sunrise, her way of stitching our frayed edges together. James slumps at the table, cradling a chipped coffee mug older than I am, grumbling about the electric bill spiking again, or the deadbeat who skipped out on a $20 tire patch. Then there's Chloe, my niece, bursting through the screen door like a gust of July heat. At 19, she's all wild curls and wilder dreams, the kind of kid who lights up a room and makes you forget the shadows. Last Sunday, she paced the worn linoleum, spinning a yarn about a mobile pet grooming van. Picture it, Uncle James, shampooing poodles on wheels, cash rolling in, while I sat with my plate, fork hovering over mashed potatoes, waiting for a breath to slip in my own news. It never came. Sarah leaned forward, eyes soft. Oh, honey, that's so clever. And James poured Chloe more iced tea, the good stuff he keeps in the pantry for special days. Not the watered-down pitcher I get. I tried anyway, voice low. Got a raise at work, managing the crew now. And Sarah murmured, "That's great, Em," her attention already drifting back to Chloe's next sentence. It's always been this way. Chloe's the spark, the one they hang their hopes on, while I'm the steady hum in the background, keeping the lights on. I don't mind her shine, she's got a fire. I never did, but there's a tender ache, soft as a bruise, when I think of the times I've stepped in. The winter I wired $3.0 Aero to fix their furnace. The summer I handed Chloe $1, $500 for her candle, making flop wicks, still gathering dust in their garage next to the lawnmower that quit last year. They thank me, sure. A quick nod over the table like I'm the mailman dropping off a check. I swallow it, tell myself it's fine, that I'm used to the way it settles in my chest like damp November air. I sip my coffee, gone cold now, and watch Chloe wave her hands. Her voice a melody they can't resist. My fingers trace the edge of the table, worn smooth by decades of meals. And I think of the secret I carry, a warm ember they can't see yet. I've spent years fixing their leaks, literal and otherwise, but soon they'll know what I've been building, not just a paycheck, but a lifeline. One day, they'll look at me and see more than the sister who shows up with a wrench and a checkbook. Until then, I hold that hope close, letting it warm the quiet spaces they don't fill. Monday mornings, I'm back under the hoods at the garage. The clank of tools and hum of engines a steady rhythm to my days. But now, there's a new beat beneath it all, A phone call I made last week to Tom, my old high school buddy, turned real estate guy. I caught him over his lunch break. Voice low so the guys at work wouldn't overhear. I need a shop, Tom, I said, leaning against the break room counter. A styrofoam cup of burnt coffee in hand. Small, near a highway, good bones, something James and Sarah can grow into. He chuckled through a mouthful of sandwich. You opening a chain now? I let the tease slide, then told him the truth. It's for them. A surprise to pull them out of that falling apart shed. Tom stopped laughing, scribbled notes, and promised to dig up options. That promise sits with me now. A quiet thrill that warms me through the grease and grime of a long shift. At Sunday dinner, I keep it zipped, though it's hard not to grin into my green beans when Chloe launches into her latest pitch, a vegan cupcake truck she swears will revolutionize dessert. James nods along, his fork tapping the edge of his plate, and Sarah asks about frosting flavors like it's the most pressing thing in the world. I don't mind the chatter. It gives me space to dream. I see James tinkering under a new lift, Sarah tallying receipts in a real office, not a card table wedged by the back door. Tom's first listing pings my phone mid-meal, a brick building, off Route 12. A little rough, but solid. I scroll the grainy photos under the table, heart skipping at the thought of it being the one. Chloe's voice fades to a hum as I picture wiping down the counter, hanging a sign with their names on it, something permanent, something mine to give. Back home, I sit on my lumpy couch, the one I've meant to replace for years, and flip through more listings Tom sends. Each one's a possibility, a step closer to that moment I've carried like a keepsake in my pocket. The TV drones in the background, some rerun of a show James used to watch with me when I was a kid, laughing over popcorn on Friday nights. That memory nudges me, soft and insistent. This shop isn't just a building, it's a bridge back to those days, a way to say what I've never found words for. I sip my tea, lukewarm in a mug Sarah gave me years ago, and let the hope settle in. It's real now, close enough to touch, and I'm not letting it slip away. The days blur into weeks, my hands busy with wrenches and oil filters, but my mind's always half on Tom's latest updates. He's narrowing down properties, and I'm counting pennies, feeling the weight of this thing I'm so close to pulling off. Sunday rolls around again, and I'm at James and Sarah's. The familiar creak of their porch steps under my boots. The kitchen smells of baked chicken this time, Sarah's go-to when the week's been rough. We're barely through grace when Chloe drops her bombshell, voice bright as she slices into her roll. I need $50. Oh, for the cupcake truck. Investors are lining up, but I need a push. My stomach twists. That's half my shop fund. Years of overtime sitting in a bank account with their names on the dream. Before I can process it, James's eyes land on me, steady and expectant. You've been doing good. Maybe you could help her out. Sarah chimes in softer. Chloe's got a real shot this time. I set my fork down, the clink loud against the plate. I can't, I say, voice tighter than I mean it to be. Chloe's head snaps up, eyes flashing. Can't or won't. You're loaded. Emily. Don't play selfish with me. The air shifts. Heavy now. I try to explain how I've covered their busted water heater, sent Chloe cash for that candle mess she abandoned. But it's like talking to the wind. James sighs, a sound I know too well, the one he used when I'd scrape my knee as a kid and he'd patch me up. She needs a break. You've always landed on your feet. Sarah nods. Slicing more chicken no one's eating. Chloe slams her napkin down. You've got no vision. Just hoarding your money while I'm trying to build something. She storms out, the screen door banging shut, and I'm left staring at my plate, the gravy congealing. James mutters, she'll cool off. But his look says I'm the one who's wrong. I mumble an excuse, grab my jacket, and head to my truck, the night air sharp against my face. Driving home, the headlights catch the faded lines of the road, and I feel the sting settle in, not loud, but deep, like a splinter you can't dig out. They don't see me. Not really, but I grip the wheel tighter, the hum of the engine steadying me. This shop isn't just for them anymore. It's my anchor, my proof. I'm more than their safety net. I won't let this crack break me. I've come too far. Weeks pass in a haze of torque wrenches and tire alignments, but the fight with Chloe lingers, like a faint ache in my joints. Tom calls one crisp October afternoon, his voice crackling through my phone as I wipe grease off my hands with a rag. Found it. M. 2.00 square feet. Off Route 12. Renovated last year. Solid as a rock. I meet him there the next day, boots crunching on gravel as I step inside. The place smells of fresh paint and possibility high ceilings. New lifts, gleaming under fluorescent lights. A little office with a window facing the highway. I run my fingers along the counter, picturing James swapping stories with customers, Sarah sorting invoices at a real desk instead of that wobbly card table. My savings cover it every nickel. I've scraped together, and I sign the papers with a shaky hand, a grin I can't hide. It's theirs. I just need the right moment to tell them. I decide on a grand opening, a surprise wrapped up as something else. I call James and Sarah, keep it casual over the line. Got a promotion worth celebrating. Come by next Saturday. Bring Chloe. Sarah hesitates. Her tone cools since our last dinner, but says they'll be there. Chloe doesn't pick up, but I figure she'll tag along. I spend nights after work prepping the shop, sweeping the bays, hanging a sign I painted myself. Route 12 Auto. Simple, sturdy. Like them. I imagine their faces when I hand over the keys. The way James's laugh might echo off the walls. Sarah's quiet. Oh, Emily. As she realizes what I've done, this will mend it all the hurt. The distance. I even start the paperwork to put it in their names. A gift tied up with 4 years of my life. Friday night. I sit in my apartment, the glow of a single lamp casting shadows on the walls. I sip coffee from a chipped mug, the one I've used since James moved me into this place years ago, and let the warmth seep in. The shop's ready, a dream made real, and tomorrow they'll see it. I don't need their apologies, just their footsteps on that concrete floor, their hands on what I built. It's more than steel and brick. It's a piece of me offered up. Like the casserole Sarah used to bring when I was a kid sick with the flu, I close my eyes, the hum of the highway in my mind, and hold on to that hope, fragile but fierce. The week before the grand opening, I'm polishing the shop's front counter when my phone buzzes. Chloe's name on the screen, first time since our fight. I hesitate, thumb hovering, then answer. Her voice cuts through, sharp as a snapped fan belt. Tom blabbed about the shop. Emily, I know what you're up to. My breath catches. I hadn't told anyone but him. Before I can explain, she barrels on. Sell it. Give me the money for my truck. It's only fair after all I've been through. I grip the rag in my hand, the smell of lemon polish sharp in my nose. It's not for sale. Chloe, it's a gift for them. She laughs, cold and brittle. Sure it is. You're just flexing your cash while I'm stuck. You'll pay for this. The line goes dead, and I stand there, the quiet of the shop pressing in, a chill settling over me like frost on a windshield. 2 days later, I pull up to the shop at dawn, thermos of coffee still warm from home, and stop short. The big front windows ones I'd scrubbed spotless are shattered, glass glinting on the pavement like broken promises. My chest tightens as I step closer, spotting a crumpled cupcake wrapper caught in the shards, pink frosting smeared on the edge. It's hers. I know it, even without proof. The cops come, take notes, call it vandalism, but their shrugs say they won't dig deeper. I sweep up the mess alone, the broom scraping against concrete a harsh rhythm to my thoughts. She did this my own niece, tearing at what I built for her parents. The hurt blooms slow, not a shout but a whisper threading through me as I tape cardboard over the gaps. The morning light dimmed. I sit on a stool inside, the thermos untouched, and stare at the empty bays. This was supposed to be their fresh start, a place where James could tinker and Sarah could breathe easy. Now it's scarred before they've even seen it. My fingers trace the counter's edge, worn already from my nervous hands, and I think of the toolbox James gave me when I turned 16, rusted but reliable. Like him, Chloe's wrath stings, but I won't let it stop me. I'll fix the windows, repaint the sign if I have to. The shop's still there, still mine to give. I take a sip of coffee, bitter now, and let the resolve settle in, soft but unyielding, like the first snow dusting the ground outside. The new windows go up fast, a guy from town helping me fit the panes, while I try to shake the unease Chloe left behind. I need James and Sarah to know what happened, so I drive over midweek, the familiar crunch of their gravel driveway under my tires. The house smells of cinnamon Sarah's baking bread, a comfort she's leaned on since I was a kid. I sit at their kitchen table, the same one where James taught me to change a flat tire on a toy car and spill it all, the broken glass, the cupcake wrapper. My hunch, it was Chloe. James frowns, rubbing his stubbled chin. She's been moody. But smashing windows. That's a stretch. Sarah sets a loaf on the counter, her voice gentle but firm. She's upset you wouldn't help her, honey. You know how she gets. I nod, expecting that. But then she keeps going. Why'd you buy a shop for yourself anyway? Chloe's the one who needs a leg up right now. My throat tightens. The bread's warmth suddenly distant. It's not for me. It's for you two, a surprise for the opening. I wait for their eyes to light up, for the pieces to click. Instead, James snorts. A sound like air leaking from a tire. Yeah, right. A shop for us. And you didn't say a word. Sarah shakes her head, slicing the loaf with a steady hand. Chloe told us you're flaunting it, rubbing your money in her face. We're not coming Saturday. Not after this. I stare at the crumbs on the table, each one a tiny weight piling up inside me. They believe her my own brother, who carried me on his shoulders at county fairs, and Sarah, who sewed my prom dress from scratch. The room feels smaller, the cinnamon cloying now, and I stand, legs unsteady. You're wrong, I whisper, but they don't look up as I grab my keys and leave. Outside, the dusk wraps around me, the porch light flickering like it's tired too. I slide into my truck, the seat cold against my back, and grip the steering wheel until my knuckles ache. They've chosen her story over mine, over years of me showing up with cash and care. The hurt seeps in slow, not a storm, but a steady drip, like rain through a cracked roof. I think of the shop, its clean lines waiting for them, and wonder if I've been fixing the wrong things all along. But I start the engine, the rumble, a quiet promise. I'll face Saturday alone if I have to. Friday morning, I'm at the shop early, arranging folding chairs for tomorrow's opening. The scent of motor oil, mingling with the crisp air, slipping through the new windows. My phone pings a notification from a local review site. I open it, expecting nothing, and freeze. Route 12 Auto, overpriced ripoff. Shady owner. Stay away. 1 star. Posted overnight. Linked to an email I recognize, Chloe's. My hands tremble as I scroll. She's painted me as a crook before the first customer even walks in. I sink onto a chair, the metal cold through my jeans, and stare at the screen. This isn't just broken glass, it's a knife to the gut. Her final swing to ruin what I've built. The shop's quiet, save for the hum of the heater kicking on, and I feel the weight of her spite settle in, soft but suffocating, like dust on an old photo. I call James, voice steady despite the shake in my chest, and tell him about the review. Chloe's trying to tank me before I start. Say something to her. He pauses, the line crackling, then snaps. You've always been jealous of her spark. She's fighting for her dream, and you're playing victim. We're done with this. The call ends, his words echoing in the empty bays. I set the phone down. It's screen dark now, and look around at the lifts I tested. The sign I hung with care. They were supposed to stand here with me, not tear it down through her. The hurt unfurls, slow. The first time in weeks, wrapped in a quilt Sarah patched long ago. Its stitches holding steady, even if we don't. Sunday morning, I'm sipping coffee on the shop's back step when I hear tires crunching gravel. James and Sarah climb out of their sedan, toolboxes in hand, faces set like they're reporting for work. Morning, Guinea, James says, shifting his weight. Heard the opening went well. Figured we'd move in. Run the place like you meant. Sarah nods, clutching a thermos like it's a peace offering. I set my mug down, the steam curling in the cool air, and stand in the doorway. This isn't yours anymore, I say. Voice calm but firm. You made your choice. James's jaw tightens. We're family. You can't just cut us out. We'll sue if we have to. Sarah's eyes dart away, but she adds, you owe us this, honey. I lean against the frame, the wood solid under my shoulder. It's in my name. I don't owe you anything, not after the windows. The lies, the silence. They argue, voices rising, then grab their stuff and peel out, dust clouding the lot. I lock the door, heart steady now, the fight draining away like oil from a pan. Months roll by, and the shop hums cars in, cars out. A kid I hired wiping down tools with a grin. I hear through a guy at the diner that Chloe's truck folded. James and Sarah took a loan to prop it up, and it's sinking fast. I nod over my pie, not surprised, and head back to work. The bays are mine now, the rhythm of wrenches and laughter too. I've started seeing Sam, a welder with kind eyes, who lives a mile down Route 12. We share burgers at the Roadhouse, talk shop over fries. My days feel full, not borrowed. I plant marigolds along the shop's front, their gold bright against the brick, and join the town's car show crew, swapping stories under string lights. Looking back, I see I spent years chasing their nods, thinking if I gave enough money, time, a whole damn shop they'd see me. But they didn't. And that's a lesson carved deep now, quiet as a Sunday drive. Love's not a ledger you balance with big gestures. It's a two-way road. And I was the only one driving. If I'd handed them the keys, they'd have stripped it bare for Chloe's next whim, left me with nothing but echoes. I'm not mad anymore, just clear. You can't fix folks who'd rather break you than build with you. The shop's my home now, not a bribe. And I've learned to hold my own worth, not handed over to be weighed. Sam's waiting at the Roadhouse tonight, and as I grab my keys, the marigolds catch the sunset. I lock up, the click a promise to myself, and head out. The road ahead mine to travel. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. Family can be a place of love, or the deepest kind of pain. If you've ever felt mistreated or taken for granted by those closest to you, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. You never know who else might need to hear your story.